Oh, hello. How's it going? Let's take a look at estimating decimals to add and subtract. Let me put this over here just in case we need to use it. And away we go. All right, so study the following image. All right. Now, let's start to look at the numbers. Now, this may look like a strip diagram, but really this is just showing you kind of a complicated version of something and a simple version of something. Um, so remember whenever we did estimation, we talked about how estimation is basically a way to make your numbers easy to use, right? Easy to work with. So in this problem, these numbers up here, these would be really hard to add in your head or subtract in your head. If you have the ability to line them up perfectly in your head and add, and you're really good at like carrying in your head and things like that, then yeah, maybe you can do this one no problem. But even I have a lot of trouble doing anything like that, especially whenever you have like 4-digit numbers, including thousands, things like that. So what we're essentially doing here is trying to make this easier to think about. Instead of adding or subtracting and adding these complicated numbers, we can just think about what they're about, right? So if we think about these numbers, 9 and 872 thousandths, right? If we're trying to basically Fredstimate front end digit, so we're estimating to the nearest whole number, right? Fredstimation, front end digit estimation, then 9 and 872 thousandths, since we have an 8 right there, that's closer to 10 than it is to 9. If we're looking at a number line, and if on that number line here is 9 and here is 10, 9 and 82 or 872 thousandths would be somewhere around there, which is closer to 10 than it is to 9. So the next number that we're looking at is 3 and 42 hundredths. 3 and 42 hundredths. Remember, not 3.42, because that is not how we read that number or assess its value. So 3 and 42 hundredths, right? And if we think about that, is it closer on a number line to 3 or 4? Well, if 3 and 5 tenths is right here, then 3 and 42 hundredths would be somewhere around here, closer to 3 than it is to 4. So think about it, form below, stay low. So it's about 3. And then finally, if we look at the number 1 and 7 tenths, we want to think 1 and 7 tenths is about, right? And we're Fredstimating, going to the nearest front end digit, between 1 and 2, 1 and 7 tenths is somewhere closer to here on the number line. So is it closer to 2 and closer to 1? Is closer to 2. So basically they rewrote the problem on top. So your original problem looked like 9 and 872 thousandths minus the sum of 3 and 42 hundredths plus 1 and 7 tenths, right? And now we're using these numbers instead. 10 minus the sum of 3 plus 2, that makes 5. Remember, we must do what's in parentheses first. Boone practices math always. Brackets, parentheses, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So inside parentheses is 3 plus 2, so we have to do that part of the problem. Then copy down anything that we didn't do. Now we have 10 minus 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. So there's our answer if we're going to solve that one. Now, this would be a really good way to find out if an answer is reasonable. Like on that question yesterday, or on that example yesterday, where they ended up with the wrong number, but we figured out that estimating, even to the front end digit, Fredstimating, would have got them the right answer. Bye! See you in the next video.